This episode of Twin Speaks contains spoilers.
Hello and welcome to Twin Speaks First Watch, First Listen of Under the Silver Lake, starring Andrew Garfield, Riley Keough, Topher Grace, and Jimmy Simpson, directed by and written by David Robert Mitchell. I'm your co-host, Pat. You can find me on Twitter at KidCombo, and I, of course, joined by my twin brother and co-host. You can find him on social media at Antimonium. It's Andrew.
You started that like it was like a local news station that just came back after break. Like you were like, oh, welcome everybody. Oh, didn't see you there.
I was like pausing at weird spots there too because I wrote down directed and written, and then I went directed by and written by. As if it's like two different people.
I'm going to be honest. I got so lashed down to the thing I was going to say, I didn't hear anything you said. I was like, I know what I'm saying. Finish talking.
Yeah. We watched Under the Silver Lake. It got like a weird ass release. So it was finally on Amazon Prime. So we watched it on there. And yeah, we'll eventually talk about it.
There is a lake. They actually go to the lake.
Yeah, no. Silver Lake is a real place, Andrew.
What? No, it's not. There's no silver in that lake.
There's no Hollywood.
There's silver in them lakes. That's my prospector voice.
Oh, I was working on voices today.
Don't ever say that.
I was by myself.
Work on your own voice. Get that nailed down. When you read through an intro without stumbling, then you can work on voices.
I was by myself for all today. So
this is so sad already.
I was at work, okay? I was working by myself.
I was by myself. I started talking to myself in other voices to try and populate the room. How you doing, Patrick? Well, I'm good, other Patrick.
I did. I was doing a New Zealand one.
Yeah,
and then I was also doing Goofy.
You can't say it.
What?
And you can't say that you've been working on a voice, give a specific voice, and then not do it.
Gosh.
That's Goofy, okay?
Yeah.
That's the New Zealand one. Okay, now you do Goofy.
You do, but you have to no, but you have to do it like an octave down. Yeah, there you go. Oh. There it is. And then, gosh.
Gosh. It sounds like you did it twice. It didn't sound like you did it, then I did it.
That's why I was laughing.
Okay, now do the New Zealand.
What was it? What was the line I was saying?
All I can think of is the one from Thor Ragnarok, and it's whenever Korg talks.
It's like, be more constructive with your feedback. Oh no, be more constructive with your criticism.
You're quoting.
Yeah, I'm doing the
Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Be more constructive with your criticism. I don't think I have like the voice.
No, you're kind of doing like a mix between Korg and just a line from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it again. It was like average at best. Yeah. Should we do some news? Actually, just like a few hours ago, it got posted that Peter Mayhew, actor of Chewbacca from the original Star Wars series, obviously, has passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's had some health issues for a while, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
He was like commenting on Reddit like 3 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
2 days ago,
I saw that too.
That's crazy. So like whatever it was quick. Do we know how he died?
I didn't read that.
It's sad because he just seemed like such a genuinely nice guy. And
yeah.
they didn't need to bring him back. For the movie.
I thought that was
they
cool
brought him back just to be
to be in the movie.
Yeah. Which is cool.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty fresh. That's like only a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Sounded like he died at his home though.
Yeah.
Like surrounded by his family. So, whatever it was, which I just didn't look. I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving on. The new
gross sound you just made.
I knew I said it too. I knew I did it because in my head I was like, was that me or him?
No, that was definitely
me. The new Sonic the Hedgehog movie has officially gotten its first trailer.
Yeah.
By Paramount Pictures. So, I don't know. How do you want to talk about this?
I don't know.
Like shit. It looks awful.
I have such a problem with this. This is a character that like we played the game.
Yep.
And this was not a character I was like, fuck yeah, I can't believe they're doing a movie about him.
Yeah.
A, he looks nothing like a hedgehog.
Yeah.
B, he's blue. Like at the end of the day, no, I'm just saying like the character itself. What?
It's stupid.
Yeah. C, he's an idiot. D, he can't even run that fast.
Feller, eat my ass.
Yeah. He's not even black. He's not Usain Bolt. That was real iffy, and I should have done that in reverse order, but I don't care. No, I think like people are upset about him not looking like the character, and like that's fine. But at the end of the day, he's a blue hedgehog that can talk and run really fast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
exactly.
But that being said,
there was a tweet about it, like they were gonna be redoing it.
So as of like an hour ago, he tweeted out, the director Jeff Fowler,
Sonic himself.
God,
Sonic,
listen.
the Hedgehog.
Director Jeff Fowler, like tweeted out was like,
do you think his Twitter account is actually like S Hedgehog, or do you think it's Sonic TH Hedgehog or something like that?
No, it's something fucking stupid. Like
it's
Blue
really
Lightning
like,
69.
Gotta go fast 69.
No, he said the message is loud and clear. You aren't happy in the design, and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of a knee-jerk reaction like this.
I mean,
that's
that's
fucking insane.
Within a day.
And like that sets a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
Because like if you're gonna release a trailer of a CGI character and people are gonna backlash about it, and you're just gonna go, "Yep, no problem, we'll fix it," that's bad. Because like
that's really bad.
When does that end?
Yeah.
I think what had happened here, they went with a design, or they went to producers or whatever that was.
Probably, yeah.
I got real distracted by whatever just came out of my body. It was like an air bubble that was really fighting out. Yeah. I think they went to producers with like a bunch of designs and said like, pick one.
Yeah, right.
And they picked that one, and they were like, don't pick that one. And they were like, fuck you, we'll make decisions, and we have the money.
Yeah,
we're going to pick that one. And then when they released a trailer, and they're like, see, people hate it, and they're like, we fucking told you we should do the other one. That's why I think they're so quick to like. Having said that, I guess this is the first full body release we've gotten. We've gotten the leaks.
Yeah, and the leaks were weird because they were like, people were like, "There's no way this is real. Like this looks too fake, almost."
Yeah.
Like, and there was like other stuff about it too, but like the trailer came out and people just like everybody hated it.
I also think that not only does he not look like the representation from the game.
Sure.
This trailer just looked like a bad movie. Okay, too.
So that's
like, I think that's what I was like more concerned about.
That's what I wanted to talk about too, because everybody is very concerned about what he looks like. But to be honest, like the acting in this looked bad.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey looks bad.
Yeah.
The voice for him doesn't sound that great. It's Ben Schwartz.
I know.
And I'm kind of
it sounds like Ben Schwartz has been like muzzled or something.
Yeah, like it's the same thing where it's like producers were like, "Oh no, actually talk like
you're gonna like exactly."
James Marsden sounds bad.
He looks like
he
such a dummy in this.
Yeah,
too.
I don't know. Like
it was filmed here, hey? It was filmed up in Comox or
Ladysmith. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris. He told me that.
What? I told you that.
No, Chris told me that.
Okay, well, I told you that.
Chris told me
way long ago.
No, I don't think so. I think Chris was.
They were filming it last year.
Yeah, Chris was like, I was there.
Oh my god. But yeah, this looks just awful. Like the writing, the jokes that they included were shit. Like
that's
I
what
don't know. Like,
I think.
all of
Like
this looks
what
bad.
really like threw me off was that the jokes that they included in this were not good jokes. Like,
and they were included because they thought they were the stingers.
Were good jokes. Yes, exactly.
And they weren't.
Anyways. Fuck, this looks bad. And I think, like, you can fix it all you want, but it's still going to be bad. It doesn't change the movie. It doesn't.
I saw this one comment, and it was like, fuck. I don't remember where I saw it. It was, like, on Reddit or something. It was like, oh, like, Jim Carrey looks... or no, Twitter. That's what it was. And it was, like, someone talking about how he looks classic Jim Carrey. And I was like, oh, no.
No, it doesn't.
This is not. All. This is like...
There is the bit that made me laugh was when he puts on the glasses and they're crooked.
Yeah, right. That
I was like... I hope the mic caught that.
Oh, it definitely did. I like all of this looks bad. I don't know. Like them fixing it's not gonna fix the shit script. You know what I mean? Like
I know. Like, that's what I keep saying is that like, and the fact that they have to redo the CGI in this to like fix what Sonic looks like means that they're gonna have to double the amount of money they make, and it's not gonna change if this movie's bad or not.
So I read this one thing that said someone thought this is all just a publicity thing. So they knew that they were doing. So they knew that people were going to be upset about it.
And that's why they use like limited footage.
Yeah. I don't think that's true. I think
I honestly don't.
Really don't
like that. It could though. Like fuck. Especially after watching this fucking Under the Silver Lake movie.
All right. No, I don't know. Yeah, fuck. I hope that's not
Sonic is 5 letters, so
Sonic 5, the
3 Hedgehog. Too many to count.
8.
That's a hard guess. HEDGEHOG.
I got it right.
If you were counting at home, that was 8. Can you imagine somebody listening to that and being like, are they seriously counting using their fingers? Yes, I was using my fingers.
Fuck, I don't know what else to say about this. So it's like, it looks bad. I went from like being interested because it was filmed like here, like not that far from us, like an hour, to being like, oh, I don't want to waste money on this.
No, I don't.
I'd rather see Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, same. I think if Detective Pikachu.
I don't know what happened.
If you're a big Sonic fan, you should write in and tell us how this has ruined your week.
Oh, you know what's apparently really good is that Sonic Mania, that game.
Yeah.
Where it's just like a it's not like a
no, it's just like the Mario what's it called? There's that Mario Switch game, the 2D one. It's just like that where they've just like reskinned it.
Because I watched the trailer, and
but it's like much. It's good though.
It looks good. I want to play it. Yeah, I was gonna buy it. But yeah, let's stop talking about that. Did you ever see that movie Rhymes for Young Ghouls?
What were those words you said?
Okay. So there's a new movie, a new zombie thriller called Blood Quantum, that they've released like a new image for.
That just sounds like somebody closed their eyes and picked 2 really cool sounding things. Blood Quantum.
Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of danger. Blood.
But it is a zombie. Okay, so this is what like the tagline for it says: a deadly zombie plague spreads across the globe. An isolated Native American reserve becomes a frontline and battle zone after it's discovered that the indigenous inhabitants are immune to the virus.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah, so
the guy from
True Detective.
True Detective's in it.
Yeah, he's in the picture. So it's directed by Jeff Barnaby, who did Rhymes for Young Ghouls, which I watched last year for school. Georgia and I had to watch it.
What a nerd.
And it was really good. It's the same sort of thing where it's on a reserve and it's an all Native American cast.
Cool.
Actually, I think it was filmed in Canada. I can't remember now. I think it was. But like the entire cast was First Nations or Indigenous, and he's First Nations. Like the entire thing was like, oh, let's make a movie. Let's have only these people. Yeah. And it was like a really good movie because it had a lot to do with like the mental illness issues and lack of support and and the Catholic school that's there that's trying to reform all these people, and it was really, really good. It was pretty dark. Like, there's a lot of very graphic things that happen in that movie. I really liked it. I thought it was quite good, but it had a lot of shock value. You know what I mean? Like, it would sort of just, like, I mean, within the first 5 minutes, there's someone hanging.
Right.
And you see the full thing. It's like, there's not much hiding it. But yeah, I think that's kind of a cool idea. It's kind of neat to have, like, First Nations, Indigenous people as like heroes, you know what I mean? Like that's everybody's sort of relying. That's like the whole idea of this movie is like everybody's relying on this group of people.
Right.
I think it could be cool. I think it's a cool idea.
Totally. Yeah.
I think it has potential to be a really good movie or a really bad movie.
Whoa.
Because like
That is.
it sounds pretty like on the line, you know what I mean? Like
I thought you were just being like so wishy-washy just about movies all of a sudden. You're like, could be good, could be bad.
who's to know?
Who's to know? And then I will see it and I will not make a decision. Oh, yes, that was quite a movie. Quite bad or quite good.
But yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah. So moving on.
I hit my knee on that desk.
John Barenthal.
Fuck you. You just did it again.
Yeah, no, it was
John Bernthal.
and Aidan Gillen
Yep.
have joined the new thriller Those Who Wish Me Dead, the new project from Taylor Sheridan.
Right. I feel like it just kickstarted you into like the look you gave me after I said John Bernthal. You were like, mustard heed.
So this is his first thing after Wind River. So he's written and directing this movie. So Those Who Wish Me Dead is the title.
Yeah, cool.
So Angelina Jolie has been confirmed for a while. And then Nicholas Hoult and Medina Senghor have also been attached. So that's a good cast.
Yeah, John Bernthal too.
Yeah.
He was in Wind River too.
And Aidan Gillen being, is that Littlefinger
Yes.
from Game of Thrones? I think.
Yeah.
Um,
No, shoot.
But the little tagline plot thing for it says, the film is described as a hardcore chase thriller set against a wildfire in Montana wilderness. The story centers on a teenage boy who, after witnessing a brutal murder, is given a new identity and placed in the wilderness skills program for troubled teens as he is being pursued by said killers.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, it also sounds like a Taylor Sheridan movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too.
Like
this is very
super
Taylor Sheridan.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. I think that's gonna be really cool to see. Maybe hopefully John Barenthal having like a main role instead of sort of just being like the side character.
Or surprise character.
But also having Angelina Jolie in a Taylor Sheridan movie, like that sounds really, really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, there's nothing he has done that's been bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or good. He's made movies.
Fuck. Yeah, that sounds.
Fuck, you got me. You done it again.
Have you ever seen Taylor Sheridan, what he looks like?
Yeah,
That dude is...
very attractive.
Oh, I was going to say he's a man, but that's fine.
I gotcha. Yo gay bastard, you.
Is that the Liam Neeson?
I don't know.
Something leaked out.
Yeah, you bastard.
I think I'm just doing pirates right now. There's a sign outside my place for Buccaneers Day.
Oh, cool.
Buccaneers
Day.
Day.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I think like I am so genuinely disappointed that they don't just like put a Pirate of the Caribbean ship right in the middle of the gorge and just do it there. Instead, you gotta dress up like a goddamn pirate and walk down the street. Like,
It'd be funny if you could board the ship, and then you have to like attempt to be a part of the crew. So you have to fight people, and then you have to walk the plank and clean stuff. So they make it like into the actual,
best part of being a pirate is cleaning
like,
stuff.
The worst part of being a pirate is like
No.
all the grinding
You
part.
have to do all the menial tasks on
Yes.
a pirate ship. You're like, yeah, you have to spin that wheel.
You gotta
You gotta raise.
into a
You gotta
job.
raise the thing.
Hoist.
No, you gotta do all the hoisting. Usually the rope coil it.
Swear to God, if anybody says poop deck, you're out.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. David Malchian. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know. Why'd you look at me?
It's that guy. Oh, he was in the Under the Silver Lake. Was he?
Nice try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has been cast as Polka Dot Man in James Gunn's new.
Oh, I did see that.
The Suicide
Oh, this
Squad.
guy. Yeah.
I think I'm mixing two people. I don't think it's the guy from Under the Silver Lake and the one that always is in like all the different David Lynch movies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, never mind.
But this guy is not in Under the Silver Lake.
I know. I'm mixing him with that
with
guy.
the other guy, the one that was in Standoff at Sparrow Creek.
Yes, right.
Yeah, and he's in a bunch of Coen Brother movies too.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
Hell yeah.
I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't help because I don't remember his fucking name.
I can't remember his name either. It might be the same guy.
No, they are not the same guy.
Okay, we're gonna live look this up.
Yeah, like we don't on every episode already.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like I just keep talking, then you're just doing it. David Dal.
Patrick Fischler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that the one under the Silver Lake?
Yeah.
Ah, ha, ha. Okay. Sick.
All right, move on, Patrick.
Okay, good. I'm glad we figured that out.
Good, I figured it out. Bitch.
Anyway, he got cast as Polka Dot Man in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks cool.
So I don't know anything about Polka Dot Man.
Pokemon Man.
Pokemon Man.
He's just got, instead of spots, it's just Pokeballs all over. Nothing's in them. He just throws them at people.
Attack!
Attack,
There's
nothing.
no Pokemons here, man.
No, you're just throwing a heavy ball at me. No, Polka Dot Man has, like, polka dots all over him, but, like...
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? I mix him up with the Spot. The Spot is the one where he has, like... The Spot is one of the stupidest like villains because his spot, he can like punch through a spot and his arm comes out another spot.
Oh yeah, right.
So somebody will like punch him and it's very like comical where it comes back and like punches him in the back of the head.
It was just like poke a finger through and then so you're always just poking, jabbing people.
You're always poking yourself and you're punching through the spot. Anyways, I think Polka Dot Man is something like that. Like he
just has like some weird ass power.
Yeah, did you see what the description for John Cena's character is?
No, I didn't.
His is Peacemaker.
Yeah, right.
And it says
Makes peace.
No, he loves peace so much he's willing to kill for it.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love that so
That's
much.
fantastic. Oh.
That is such like a cliche, like a
That's such a
write-up
James
for it,
Gunn
but
thing,
it's
that-
so good.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's him. I
You don't
think
think
that's like the actual description for the character.
God damn.
Anyways,
Oof.
Polka Dot Man.
Cool.
And hell yeah, the Peacemaker. Next,
yeah,
all we need is Kite Man.
Man.
Hell yeah, Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Orlando Bloom and Jamie Foxx to star in a new thriller, War Pigs. It's about a retired Marine's brother is killed by a drug cartel, and he decides to wage war against the cartel with the help of fellow ex-soldiers who served during World War II.
Yeah, cool.
Which sounds like, what's the movie we just, Triple Frontier?
A little bit, yeah. It sounded like a period piece of Triple Frontier.
Yeah, and it also has Mel Gibson and Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not crazy about Mel Gibson, Colin Farrell, whatever.
But no, I think like it wasn't necessarily because of who Mel Gibson is.
No,
it was more just like that didn't fit for me. I was like,
Oh.
Colin Farrell, sick. Orlando Bloom, Jamie Foxx, sick.
Sick, yeah.
Mel Gibson, like
He
it just
doesn't-
doesn't
he's the
fit
one that-
unless he's kind of like unless he's like an older general or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really. I don't think that's gonna be a good fit, but who knows? I mostly just went left because also him acting in the last like 20 years has not been good anyway. So, oh yeah. So there's that.
Because he's a racist.
There it is. Yeah, we got him. Get him.
He thought he could get away, but now we know what he did.
Yeah, get him.
You're just gonna sit there and say, "Yeah, get him."
Yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, I saw that. Your riffing has been just awful today. You can't even riff with me about your riffing being bad.
I don't know what to
You're
say.
just like, correct.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. You just focus on reading.
Yeah.
You can't even do that.
I was trying to see what time it was. Fury and Thor Ragnarok's stunt coordinator Ben Cook has joined the new Sam Mendes new film 1917, which is set during World War One.
Wait, is he like acting in it?
No, he's gonna be the stunt coordinator. But I mostly use this to segue into...
I was like, when have we ever done news about a stunt coordinator?
Because I didn't know that.
Next would be like, and the new Dune movie is using craft services from the last Thor Ragnarok.
For their catering.
Yeah. Like, what is this?
Or like alpine skiing, like if they need like certain weather. Forget it.
What the fuck?
I might delete that out.
What the fuck? What does that mean? What were you talking about?
You know how like ski resorts, like if they don't have snow right away,
Yeah, they bring in like a snow machine.
Yeah. So I was trying to be specific about the brand of snow machine.
You went too specific that you confused yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why
I got it.
riffing.
All right.
Wow.
But I was using that to segue into what because I didn't know that Sam Mendes was doing another movie. And it's 1917. And it stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, Mark Strong, and Richard
And the
Madden.
stunt coordinator from Thor.
Yeah, but also cinematography by Roger Deakins.
Oh, sweet. I'm in.
So yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Roger
I actually
Deakins,
didn't realize
yeah.
that they were even doing one. It's supposed to come out December 25th, which means it's probably like gonna be a
Christmas movie.
oh fuck. Yeah, it's just seeing that coming. No, I was gonna say like Oscar bait, but
Oh, yeah. That too.
because it's got all the people in it that will be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for news.
Sweet.
There's like some other stuff, like a couple trailers dropped, but there's that one for Crawl, which
Crawl.
is the new Sam Raimi
Raimi.
movie. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that next week though, because that came out today or yesterday.
Today, I think.
So yeah, let's talk about
Under the Silver Lake. What?
We said it at the same time.
No, you said it like half a second later than I did, and you just kept doing it.
I'm gonna play that back because I actually like that.
Under the Silver Lake. Under the Silver Lake.
So this movie is about Sam, who's an intelligent person but without purpose, who finds a mysterious woman swimming in his apartment's pool one night. The next morning she disappears, and then Sam sets off across LA to find her, and along the way he uncovers a conspiracy far more bizarre.
I don't think that description's right.
No, I know.
I don't think she swam when she just was like suntanning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wasn't swimming in the pool. That's from IMDb, so that's like the
Weird.
official.
Yeah, she wasn't, unless they like changed, because this movie got re-edited. So this movie initial release was last year.
Okay, so
and it came out and it was like 18% or something like that.
So I guess before we talk about the actual movie, we should talk about like the weird shit that.
Yeah, so this got sent
dumped.
into a couple festivals initially, and it got dumped on. It's an A24 film, so like.
So first it was supposed to come out because they really thought it was going to be good, and then they were going to push it for Oscar season.
Yeah, last year,
and then I don't know.
It didn't do very well. Like it wasn't. Yeah. I guess the initial cut wasn't very good, and he took it. The director or whoever took it, recut it, and then sent it in this year to a bunch of festivals. And it did a bit better because initially it was getting fucking panned, like as bad as it could be. Like this movie sucked, and then it got submitted and it's better, but it's still not like, I think like even after watching it I was like it feels re-edited. It feels like he went back and was like, oh okay, how do I like. Just
a side note on that, there's even like some weird sound. I don't know if you had that too, if you even noticed, but some of the sound doesn't match up with the visual. And so there would be like a delay. And I knew it wasn't the actual.
I don't think I had that.
Oh, because I only noticed it a couple times, and it wasn't all the time, which made me think that it was like an edited thing. So it wouldn't be like, it'd be like them talking, but then there'd be like a 0.25 second delay or something.
Maybe just you then.
What?
Like you're.
Yeah, but it wasn't happening all the time.
I don't think I had it at all though.
Okay, maybe it was just me.
Maybe. Anyway. It was your fucking brain, you dipshit.
I was having a stroke.
Yeah. A stroke!
So yeah, then they...
That was such a stupid... Yeah, continue.
They then, like, went, okay, fuck it. We'll just put it on...
Well, no,
like,
so
A24,
from what I read, A24 is notoriously good at knowing what they've got is good, and knowing what they have. I was gonna say good at knowing what they have is good, knowing bad at bad what they have bad. Knowing what they have is bad. So they knew before all of this that they were gonna VOD it. And it was more of a cut their losses. They know it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
Here Amazon, take it.
Why pay for the press?
Exactly, which is smart because it makes this movie way accessible, especially after all the shit that it's gone through.
Yep.
I would not have watched this otherwise.
I was excited about it because I remember watching the trailer.
And the trailer was good,
ago.
but at the same time, I think that because it was not doing that great, I was less interested in it than I was initially. And when you said it was on Amazon Prime, I was like, okay, yeah, well, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And my overall feeling is so like undecided on what I think of this movie.
Yeah.
I loved the premise of it, that there's this deep like conspiracy happening on why this girl disappears, and then it turns into that there's fucking codes in music.
Everything,
and then it turns into that like, oh, also billionaires are also basically Scientologists.
Yes.
And believe that they will be like ascended to this new place.
Yeah.
By taking 3 women with them in hiding out in an underground pyramid.
You summed it up pretty well.
But what confused me about this movie is the side shit.
Yes. Okay.
Owl's Kiss. What the fuck?
There's like a main plot line that goes all the way through that he like gets dumped, and then it just seems like he's loathing, and then he sort of figures out that there's like weird stuff happening.
So he gets dumped, and you're right. He's loathing. He doesn't work. He tells people he works. I initially thought that this guy was just like a stoner and a liar.
Yeah.
But then you sort of realize that maybe he's not lying about everything, and it's just like legitimately like that's just what happens, and he just is kind of just like that.
If it sounds like we're having a hard time recalling and talking and like how
because it just there was a lot in this.
It's because it really was like that's how this movie is.
Yeah. I think so. Like the main storyline is he's trying to figure out what this girl is because he really likes her. They seem to hit it off. They hang out one night and then they leave when all of a sudden this like pirate guy shows up.
Yeah.
And like literally there's a pirate that shows up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes back to her place because they make plans and she's gone. And he can't figure out why. So, like, he sees this code on the wall. And so, like, the rest of the movie is him trying to figure out what the code means. He meets up with this other person who writes comics. Or he calls them zines, which I thought was funny.
No, that's a thing.
I know, but it's a magazine.
Yeah, but there's they're like self-published zines.
I know, but, like, I just thought it was funny that he said that because it just sounded funny.
He's so uncool.
I am super cool, and how dare you? I'm into graphic novels, actually.
Zines are different.
Yeah, I understand that. I just thought it was funny that they put it in.
Okay, go on.
Listen, punk.
It's such a Silver Lake thing.
What? Oh, just people from Silver Lake call it
gentrified, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, so like this guy writes these like folklore, urban legend type, self-published zines.
Yeah.
And he like wants to meet this guy because he really likes it. It's kind of a cool art style. So he meets this guy, and this guy ends up being sort of like a lunatic.
So he's interested because there's one that he does on the dog killer.
Yeah.
And the dog killer
is like big in East LA where he is.
Yeah. So there's like a big thing going on where it's like a topic of conversation. So like when he meets with his friends, he like asks them about the dog killer. And because there's
everybody's
even
got like an opinion about it. Yeah.
He's like getting coffee or something to eat, and someone's written on the window, it says beware of the dog killer, and like there's someone just scrubbing it off.
So as a side note, in this movie, sex appeal, that sort of stuff is such a big theme.
Yeah.
And even in that scene where she's cleaning the window, I know you're supposed to be like, beware the dog killer. Holy shit, what is that? But then it pans to him, and he's clearly just watching her boobs.
Yeah.
And I think, like, initially I was like, no, he's watching that. And then later you sort of go, no.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't ever acknowledge it until later. and it's not even about him specifically, but it's just about it. It tries to make this a little not heavy-handed, but like it does make a statement about maybe the world and pop culture's obsession with
Sure.
like that sort of stuff.
And I also
you
think
know?
on another level, I think David Robert Mitchell, the director, is like it seems like he's like a big fan of the old school film noir style.
It came out a
Because
lot in this movie, and I think this movie also has it has that time. It feels like it should be a period piece.
Yeah, and it has like a lot of references to that kind of style of like there's
Like
a guy and
old
he's kind of down
Playboy
on his
type
luck,
stuff. Yeah,
and he's trying to figure out this mystery, and there's a girl, you know, like the femme
totally.
fatale,
but she's not at the same time.
yeah, she's definitely not. It's like it's all in his head kind of thing, but also it's not because. And then he even has like the characteristics of that kind of hard-boiled detective where he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to get involved," but then he only uses women for sex, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and he's only really interested in them for sex.
So, yeah,
but that's just that was just a side note. Like it's very
like,
clear that he's very influenced by that kind of style of movie.
Yeah, and I did like it. I think it gave it a cool aesthetic, and I think I was telling somebody about today, and like I think one thing I really really loved about this movie was the aesthetic.
Sure,
I loved how this just seemed like those like stereotypical 70s parties, but at the same time he was clearly dressed like Kurt Cobain through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And that I like that. I just love that it was so based off music, and everything was based off the music, and the soundtrack was amazing in this.
That's cool.
But anyways, so like the main storyline is he is obsessed with this girl that he barely knows because she just like straight up disappears.
Yeah.
So he's trying to track her down, and it ends up leading him through a bunch of stuff. And one of the things it leads him to is this guy who writes this. He's like self-publishes these stories, and one of the stories is about this folklore called Owl's Kiss, and it's this woman who's butt naked, but she has an owl's mask.
Yes.
And she just like she is supposed to kind of be like a siren, like she like or mermaids from like old folklore where
I
like
think that's siren.
she like sucks you in and then all of a sudden she kills you. Same thing, and you're like, all right. And this guy like has this crazy like security system set up in his thing where it's just like cameras and shit.
Panic room.
He has a panic room. And Sam, so Andrew Garfield's character, is kind of looking at him going like, what the fuck is this?
Because there's bits where like Sam seems super paranoid.
And then
he almost seems like borderline schizophrenic in some of the actions and motivations and stuff. But then he meets this guy, and you're almost supposed to be like, okay, well, he's not like that, so there's something else going on.
But then
this guy's crazy.
He morphs into that guy, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of maybe the cyclical nature of this movie is that he eventually becomes him.
Sure.
He gets to a point where he starts believing everything he sees.
I feel like we're working through it.
Yeah. He believes everything he sees because it's legitimately happening to him as much as it was probably happening to this other guy.
Yeah.
And he becomes that guy because there's the point where he's venting to his friend when he gets sprayed by the skunk. All of this just sounds like nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyways, he gets sprayed by a skunk and he's like bathing himself.
There's even that bit where when he's venting to his friend, where he has the moment of realization.
And he goes, "Oh, this is weird. Like, you think this is weird?" And she goes, "Yes." And you sort of are with him, but you're like, "Yeah, okay, man, this is kind of insane."
Yeah.
Like. So, anyways, he like one of the things that I didn't love was the Owl's Kiss thing. I felt like it was a little too forced because eventually he goes and he like walks by this guy's house because he kind of like gets more information on this girl and he thinks that he has something to tell him. So he goes to this guy's house and the cops are there and they're like, "Yeah, he committed suicide." And he goes, "Whoa, what the fuck? That's crazy." So he like hides out and he sneaks in and then he goes in the security room and he sees that the fucking Alice Kiss person is there on the security footage.
So
and you're going, "Wait, what the fuck? This is real? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why is this in this movie?
So,
like, is this a supernatural horror movie or is this not? Like, I don't get it."
So, and that's sort of like a really good example of the weird side tangents that this movie does.
Yeah.
Because there's even a bit where he went and got groceries, and he was walking back to his apartment.
It was
so he has to walk.
It was
through this
before
park.
he called the guy to set up a meeting.
And before
he was
he
on
got
the
sprayed by
phone.
a skunk.
Yeah, because he was on the phone and he's walking through this park
Yes,
and he like
and he's
literally
calling
just
him.
hangs up. Yeah.
So he's talking to this guy and he's walking through this park on his way to his apartment. He's got a bag of groceries, and he kind of notices it's at night, and he kind of notices someone behind him, but then doesn't see. And then he turns around and there's literally like a person standing in the dark.
But like comically like
a
with his
serial killer.
arms out. Like
Yeah.
if you've ever seen The Watchmen, there's the scene where Ozymandias in the very opening scene kills the comedian. And
He just
the
appears in
way that he
doorway.
fucking stands there in like the shadow is so comically bad. You're like, what the fuck? Is he imagining this shit? Like, what is this?
So that never happens again.
It never happens again, but it does contribute to him sort of like always looking over his shoulder, like through the entire movie.
But I feel
anytime it's
like-
dark, he's kind of like, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?"
But then because they make a big deal about like there's a dog killer and he even justifies at some point in the movie near the end, and he's like walking with this woman and she's like, "Should we really be out here?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, like
We don't have a dog."
We don't have a dog."
Yeah.
So it's like if we're using that logic, who the hell was that? Because if he didn't have a dog, why
That
would
wouldn't be the
that
dog killer. It was
be
some
there?
random dude.
It was
Yeah.
just some random person, and it never got
Yeah.
picked up again.
But
and that
there's-
happens through this entire movie.
There's also a dream he has where he has these dog treats. He's picking up these dog treats, and then he looks, and there's this like zombie eating somebody.
Yeah.
And then
So-
the person like barks at him, and then
It's-
the two bodies like scringle away, and
It's
then
the girl that he's trying to find. Her dog's dead, and he sees the dog, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then he keeps walking, and it's the girl, but it's
the
a
girl,
guy,
the dog morphs into the girl, and then like exactly.
and he's eating a person. Yeah, and then it's
So
like,
one of the common themes again, like we keep jumping all over in different places in this movie.
fuck,
if
man,
you
that's
haven't-
how it is.
It's
Yeah.
just how it is. So like one of the themes in this movie is that he constantly is dreaming of women or like kind of zoning out, and women are always barking at him. Like literally barking at him. Like they'll be yelling something and then it turns into a bark. Like all he hears is a bark. And I think we were just talking about this. So there's three like side things that happen. There's the dog killer.
Mm-hmm.
There is Owl's Kiss.
Yep.
And then there's that weird guy that shows up. The one that like initially. And the weird guy never like pans out. That's kind of the only thing that happens.
Wait,
But then
what?
the guy that we were just talking about. The
Oh,
one
sorry,
that,
yeah.
The Owl's Kiss does come back, and the dog killer is kind of throughout the movie. And you kind of, I think it's intentionally like the red herring is that Sam is the dog killer, because he just the way that he kind of acts around the dog killer stuff, he just plays it off too much. But I think through when he talks to the homeless king, which again just sounds like fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
He's talking to the homeless king when he talks to that girl. I think I now that I've said it out loud a couple times, I think that he knows who the dog killer is.
Sure.
I think that it was his ex-girlfriend, because he tells the homeless king that the ex-girlfriend took the dog and that's why he had dog treats in his pocket. I think the ex-girlfriend killed the dog and has been killing dogs, and he feels bad because he thinks he could have prevented it.
Sure.
And that's why he's not worried about not getting killed, because he says like, oh no, like we don't have a dog. And then she goes like, well, don't you think like if they could kill a dog, wouldn't they be able to kill a person? He goes, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because he kills a dude in this
Well,
movie.
and yeah, and that's
But then also at the same time, like he would know if it was her.
yeah.
And you don't ever see him kill dogs. Dogs are always dead off screen, but you're with him the entire movie.
I don't think it was him, but I also don't think it was her. I just don't think that it was included in this cut.
You just think it was like,
I
oh,
think it
maybe
was- I
that's
think-
just something that like, and
Yeah.
that frustrates me even more, to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, and that's what I mean. Like, I think that he went, you know what? I think I'm gonna we'll just have that as like tension, but then it never really worked as tension.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Owl's Kiss, though. Is that
Yeah,
like
that's-
it's like it doesn't pan out because he goes home after he gets this gun.
So
Goes home and he's basically like sleeping upright because he's scared of something happening, and there's like something gets smashed through his window, like his patio window, And he goes out to look. As he's there, the owl's kiss comes out of a cabinet and like has a knife and like goes to like try and stab him. He turns around at the right time with the gun, and it runs away into his room.
Yes.
He goes into his room and it's not in there.
Yep.
And you go, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't pan out at all.
And then the building, his landlord comes to the
I thought
door.
I thought so. He goes and sleeps with the topless lady across from him with all the fucking parrots.
So wait, hold on. Because then he goes to, the landlord comes to the door with the cop, and
Oh,
he
that
goes
part. Yeah.
He goes like, oh, this is not a good time. And they're like, no, we're like removing you. And then she feels bad for him.
So she
The
gives
cop
him
feels
extra
bad
day.
for him.
Yeah.
Sam. And he goes, okay, you can have one more day. And I thought that was so funny because then
I thought it was gonna be like, oh shit, like it's gonna kill them.
yeah.
And it
I thought
fucking
that,
doesn't.
And then it never appears again.
No.
The owl's kiss never shows up again. That's it. Like that's
Fucking
it. You never
hated
see it.
that.
That's why I went, so is it made up? So is it really just like
Or is
an
he just having like a
thing?
fucking schizophrenic episode? Yeah.
Because I had read,
Don't know.
We were talking about it this morning, like in our group chat. I had read a theory that said that was like a metaphor for suicide
Yeah, I can see that.
with the owl's kiss, but that just seems a little too
It could be.
convenient.
I
Seems
don't
like
know
it's such a,
because I feel like maybe.
It's too
I think I
convenient.
lean towards that as making the most sense because otherwise what is it?
I don't
Because like if it's then it makes sense why he A had the gun and B he's already on edge.
Yeah.
And it disappears because she gives him an extra day.
Yeah, because like the one theory. I had
So
read-
if she didn't, maybe he turns around and the owl's kiss is there.
And they said that he's at his lowest point, so it's supposed to be like, it's like he's fighting it off. He's trying to decide whether or not he wants to go through with it, whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why, like, if that's a metaphor for suicide, the symbolism's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that makes no sense why it would be an owl.
Yeah, but that's this movie.
But it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm
not disagreeing with you, but I think that's just
I'm getting mad at this movie because it makes no sense. I don't think that's what it is. I do agree that he was at his lowest point at that period.
I think I'm
And I
more
do
likely to
think
believe that that's what it is.
That his friend did kill himself. But I don't get the connection to whatever. But it doesn't matter because it's like.
But then it's like,
that's only
would he have seen his friend's owl's kiss? You know, like if it's a metaphor for So I don't know. Actually, now you're saying it. Anyways, that's something that really pissed me off because it doesn't ever come back.
So
I think what I did like though was like all the code shit was really cool and how he discovers it is really cool. Like he legitimately like figures it out, and they spend a lot of time on him figuring it out and messing around with different things.
And it's a cool like throwback thing to the old like style of people going like, oh, there's hidden messages in the records, and so he like plays it backwards.
But then part of what I loved about this movie is that he just becomes this psychotic wrecking ball because he just goes and straight up beats the shit out of Jesus.
He beats the shit out of a kid.
He beats the shit out of
kids.
multiple kids.
Jesus. He goes into the woman's bathroom and like,
this guy's like a
grabs that woman.
scumbag too because like he puts on the handicap thing on his car.
Yeah.
He's doing a handicap. But at the same time, when that stuff happened, I went, "Is this them trying to explain why he's like this?"
Yeah.
Like, is he legitimately handicapped and like he has a disability and maybe it's schizophrenia or something like that?
Yeah.
And he needs that, and that's not him being a scumbag, or is it him like trying to get around the rules? Because they never quite spend any time explaining it. And I think I liked and disliked that, just like this entire fucking movie. There's so much of this that I was like, I can get on board with that, and then at the same time I'm like, no, don't like it.
Yeah, I think you were right when you said it's just him going around the rules because he doesn't pay his rent.
He doesn't pay.
He doesn't have a
He
job.
doesn't work. He doesn't pay his car payments.
Can't pay his car payments.
Yeah.
He puts a handicap thing on it. Like, it makes all sense.
But then what if?
I just don't understand
what
how
if-
he has a nice car.
But what if he can't keep a job because he's got a disability and the disability is legitimate? Like, that's what I keep thinking is that they never explain it. They never say this is what he's like.
Yeah.
They just never touch on it.
Nope.
You just know that something fucked him up in the past, and that's kind of the whole reason behind
recently too.
Sort of recently.
It does sort of, because everybody keeps asking about his job.
Or how he's doing.
Yeah, or how he's doing. And it's like, oh, okay, so did he have a job? Is this just him dealing with his breakup in a weird way?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like we can just keep asking questions because really it makes no sense and we have to guess.
So anyways, okay, so let's move forward. Eventually...
One little bit, though, is... So we were talking about, like, how he does all this, like, shit stuff. And I wanted to segue into he legitimately kills someone. So there's, like...
So eventually he tracks down the homeless king. Or the homeless king. And
I can't remember. Yeah, it's something king.
No, wait. Sorry, I've
Hobo
got this. It is
Yo,
homeless king.
you
Sorry,
skipped ahead, yeah.
I've like jumped ahead here.
So he goes to that party.
He goes to this party.
And
he talks to Jesus.
Yeah.
Piece of shit at Jesus. Jesus tells him about this songwriter. He puts two to two together because he also hired the rising star who also talked about this songwriter, but she made it sound like he was just some songwriter, not the songwriter.
So I thought this was really funny, the weird symbolism of him talking to Jesus and Jesus telling him that he didn't make this thing and to go talk to the songwriter who was almost like God.
Supposed to be God, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
So he goes to this guy, he like hops this fence,
ham-fisted,
goes to this thing and like meets this guy, and this guy supposedly claims to have written every single hit song in the past like 100 years.
Has Kurt Cobain's guitar.
Kurt Cobain's guitar, has all the hit songs, not necessarily like every good song that ever is out there, but like all of them, basically. And just kind of like fucks with him because he's like, yeah, the code wasn't even meant for you, buddy. Like, you're wasting your time. He's like, all those things that you like tried to rebel to, like I wrote them, like you're part of the establishment, man. And basically gave him the whole like, yeah, fuck you. Like, you think you're hot shit. And
you think you're special.
You think you're a punk rock dude. Like, you're not. You're not, man. You're no punk.
Then he starts shooting at him. Which I didn't.
And then he like runs out of bullets, and he still like Sam still has a guitar, so he like goes at him, pulls out another gun, misses, and Sam just goes to town on this dude's head.
Yeah, with a guitar.
And like literally kills this dude.
And
it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
That was a moment where I was like, ooh, okay. I did like that scene. I thought it was such an interesting scene. Like, him... I want to know who that was. I keep forgetting to check.
I looked it up. It's nobody big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was kind of a neat scene. It was like a weird medley that he was doing.
He was just like going
piano.
in and out of like famous songs. Yeah.
It was kind of neat.
It was neat. I like the idea that like, okay, like some guy controls everything, but at the same time I was like, this is such a ham-fisted fucking cop out. Like, like, oh my god, like, are you seriously saying this? Like, yeah. So like, I was reading though, like some people love that scene though. Like apparently, like that scene is like really resonating with a lot of people, and I get it. I get like the realization, but it doesn't fit well with where it is in the movie.
No.
And that's what kind of pisses me off is that you're like an hour and 40 minutes and there's still an hour
did you
left.
have the same thing where that scene finishes and then the movie continues and you went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, where else is it supposed to go?
So like eventually he like uncovers the actual like message where it tells him to go to from like Hollywood Hills to Silver Lake
like
or Silver Lake Reservoir. No,
Dean. It was like Dean, and then
no, that was the other one. That was the first one he did, and that's when he came up to the songwriter. He's like, "I found the fucking tunnels."
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
So this is after when he goes like, "Okay, I'm going to go from the reservoir. I'm going to go to the Hollywood Hills," and he goes or Mount Hollywood, and then he stumbles into this like basin or this valley, and there's this hut. And in the hut are three women that he's been basically like chasing through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And some random dude.
Yeah.
And the random dude is really nice and basically like, this is why I thought this guy was like schizophrenic, or Sam was schizophrenic, because like when he's like calmly explaining it to him, you're going, this is what he's seeing. This isn't necessarily what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, the idea is
he was
that
like very reasonable to him. Yeah.
The idea is that he has this, they take this tea. And because they're fucking billionaires, they think that they can just like Egyptians, like those pharaohs, they could just like sink themselves into a sick ass like
quote unquote
pyramid and just live the rest of their life with these 3 women and die down there, and they would ascend up to some heaven basically.
Yeah.
So he's explaining this to him, and he goes like, well, did they want to be down there? And he goes, you can fall in and ask. They can't come out, and they can't make outgoing calls, but we can make make calls inside. So he's like talking to this girl, and she's kind of like, well, like we didn't know each other. Like, I don't know what this is about and shit like that. And it kind of like dawns on me like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Anyways, it kind of like pans out that she's like, yeah, well, I have to stay here. Like, sorry.
That like I'm already here.
So like the homeless king, because this guy takes the tea, passes out, homeless king goes and interrogates him about the dog treats. Basically thinks he's the dog killer.
Yeah.
And then he just like lets him go, and that's the end of the fucking movie.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck?
It
doesn't resolve. He loses his place. He ends up going and hanging out with the dumb topless parrot lady, and you still don't know what the fucking parrot says. But that's it. That's how the movie ends.
So he gets out, and then he just like sees her across the thing, and he goes like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go like fuck her," and then he just does, and then the movie ends. So, but then we see the symbol at the end there, like how it's like the weird double diamond. It's like painted on the inside of his apartment that he's now left.
That means.
So then we see
it's supposed to mean like keep quiet.
Yeah.
About what you're not really sure, like the homeless king stuff, the pyramid, maybe like it could be literally everything.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like this movie so bad, and I really did give it a chance, and I'm not 100% convinced that I hate it. I just I didn't love this at all, and it frustrates me that a movie this thought out and this like built up, like this movie really had a lot going for it, and you just kind of were like, you tried to put all these funny pieces together as if you've never seen a puzzle put together. You were just like, this piece shouldn't fit in this one, but you know what? I'm gonna smack my hand on it. It's gonna work.
But then the image that the puzzle's of is unbelievable and spectacular.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're like, holy shit, it's like when, there was like a fad for a while of this dude, and he would like take puzzles. He would buy the same, like 2 different puzzles from the same puzzle maker because they just reuse the same shapes, and he would mash them together. And you're like, holy shit, that like works. And then you're like, but it looks awful. Like that's like the reverse, where you're like, this movie looked amazing and I really loved everything in it. But then you're like, well, it doesn't make any sense though. And I've never been so frustrated with the movie before.
Like I thought the dialogue was great.
Yeah.
Which is funny to say because
honestly,
didn't like
Andrew Garfield, amazing in this.
He was really
so
good.
Great.
Topher Grace was great in the little bits that he was in. Jimmy Simpson was really funny. I thought he was hilarious anytime he was on screen.
Yeah. I loved him in this. I thought he was so like quick. Funny. Yeah.
Riley Keough, the girl that he was in too, I thought she was fine. She was great.
I think everybody
she wasn't in it a lot, but she was great.
I think everybody in this was great. I think this movie just suffered from weird direction, weird writing. Not writing necessarily, weird direction and just weird editing.
Yeah.
I think like I'm ready to give this a score because like I am and I'm not. I think this has never made me so indecisive in my entire life.
Well, that's the thing. I think Georgia and I had watched it and she hated it. In fact,
this is definitely
I wanted to read the one quote that she had said because I asked her if she wanted to be on the pod tonight. And she said,
fuck you, Patrick. Don't ever talk to me again.
She said, no, not really, LOL. I have nothing to say about that disaster of a movie.
That sounds like Georgia.
Yeah. But
because it was.
But I like the first half. You know what I mean? Like almost up to the point where he finds the songwriter. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And I was like having a good time and I was laughing during like the beats that you were supposed to laugh at and it was like I was like, oh, I can feel it. Like it's gonna build up. It's building.
It did
up.
too, and I think it did.
Introducing all these like little side bits, and I feel like you're learning more and more. And then the like second hour, because it's like 2.5 hours long. 2.5 hours,
and that second hour
way too long.
When that first it's literally an hour and 30 minutes in or something. I paused it to check how much was left, and I went, "Are you fucking kidding me with this?"
We did the same
You're
thing.
fucking. There's a fucking hour left in this. Fuck. I just was very aware of how many times I said fuck.
And then I think I just got turned off.
Yeah.
Too. I was like, oh, what else? Like,
Yeah.
And then it just feels like it really takes its time. It drags. Oh.
Anyways, okay, so I think I'm gonna give this because I really enjoyed. I think that it really is really, really good when it's good, and really confusing when it's not. So I think this is gonna be 3.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm going dead down the middle on this because I didn't hate it. I really loved it when it was good.
You know what's funny too is I think this is a movie that I would really.
This is probably the most in depth we've ever talked about a movie, though.
Sure, I think so.
Sure, shut up. Let me give my score.
Well, because it took me a second to think about it. I think this is also a movie I could see myself watching again.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like. I
had recommended
I almost don't want to
this.
see it, but like some people were comparing it to like Inherent Vice and
No, I haven't
The
seen
Big
that yet.
Lebowski,
Oh,
and I get
Big Lebowski, I can see that a little bit.
I get the comparisons.
Yeah.
I do get it, and maybe that was a bit of an influence. Like even Inherent Vice,
Interesting.
I can see that, but I don't see it in sort of context.
I recommended this movie to somebody, and then I immediately was like, well... I was like, I don't know, actually.
But
And
then
they're
again, I
like,
can see
they're
myself
like, I think
coming
I'll
back.
watch it. I like the trailer. I was like, yeah.
But it's not like that. But I
Okay, so what
can
do you
almost
give
see
it?
myself watching it again.
Yeah, me too. Maybe
And
when I
maybe
have
enjoying it
another
a second
3
time.
hours to kill.
Yeah, and that's sort of like what's going like, do I really want to spend that much time again? But I would almost agree exactly with your score. 3.5 is fine with me. Yeah. Because like you said, like the bits that I really liked were awesome.
Yeah.
Were really great. But then the bits that I hated was like a big chunk of the movie, and I just couldn't. It was like it took a lot for me not to be on my phone.
Yeah.
And not to be like, whatever, fuck
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, totally.
And then, so it was a bit of a struggle, but also I really liked most of it. Or not most of it, but, half of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
No, I'm good.
That was First Watch, First Listen of Under the Silver Lake by David Robert Mitchell. Starring Andrew Garfield, Topher Grace, Jimmy Simpson,
Jimmy Schmidt-Schmidtson.
and Riley Keough. Get at us on Instagram and stuff at Twin Speaks Pod or at Anemonium for Andrew, at Kid Combo for me. Almost said my own name.
I think I might. I keep saying that. I keep saying that I'm gonna change it to Boner Doom. I think I just gotta do it.
We'll announce it.
Yeah. I think if I do it to Boner Doom, I have to put my full name in my bio, and I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, yours is like
because it's Armin
Tamzarian.
Tamzarian right now.
Yeah, right. Which is Skinner, right?
Yeah, it's a deep cut to Skinner's real name.
Yeah, right.
Deep cut for all you Simpson fans out there. Otherwise, get fucked.
Okay, I can feel my voice like.
Yeah, I got a bike home, so let's go.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.